Okay, let's do question. Okay, it's fine. We'll do question 3. Let's do this question 4, ne? Let's do this question 4. I'm just gonna make sure you read the statement, you understand the statement. They say that below the graphs, we have the graph of f at x, which is x minus 4 squared minus 9. It's a straight line G. So A and B are the x-intercept of f, and E is the turning point of f. Then we are also given C as the y-intercept for both f and G. So the x-intercept of J is D, and D is parallel to the x-axis. So DE is, to the y-axis. So the first question, they want us to do what? I think this one is how many marks? 2 marks. Write down the coordinates of E. So this is question 4. So this is question 4. Let's start. Okay, this is question 4. Right. Question 4.1. They want us to write the coordinates of E. So I know that if we can go back to this, if we can go back to what? To the graph. Let's check E. According to the given equation, remember that the graph of f at x, it can be in this form. The standard formula for the graph, I'm not sure if you guys still remember this, but f at x, it can be written in the form of a into x plus or minus p squared plus q. So E is your turning point, and the coordinate of turning point is p is to q. So now we just have to check what is p. To find the value of p, we take whatever that is inside the bracket. We take the x minus 4 equated to 0. Therefore, the value of x is 4. So now we have the value of x, the value of it. They said write down. You don't have to show all the calculations. So the x coordinates of E is 4. Therefore, we need to find the y coordinate. Remember, the y coordinate is q. You just take the q with the sign. You take the q with the sign, the minus 9, you write it down. That's the value of, that's the y coordinates of E. Then we are done with that question. So these are the coordinates of E, which is 4 and minus 9. So moving to 4.2, on 4.2 they want us to find, let's see what we have on 4.2. The coordinates of A. They want you to calculate the coordinates of A. Guys, the coordinates of A, it's your x-intercept. So to find the coordinates of A, we need to find your x-intercept. And how do we find the x-intercept? Remember, if f at x, the f at x is given as what? It's given as x minus 4 squared minus 9. So we need to find the x-intercept. So the question is that, how do we find the x-intercept? We find the x-intercept, okay, the x-intercept if y is equal to 0. Therefore, this tells you that we can write this equation in y is equal to x minus 4, which is squared minus 9. So that where there's y, we can put 0 and say this is x minus 4 squared minus 9. Therefore, we can do what? We can isolate this and say this is equal to 9. So we need to solve for what? We need to solve for x. To solve for x, we can square both sides. We can square both sides and say that x minus 4 is equals to the square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. Therefore, we're going to say the x minus 4 we equate it to 3, or we can take the x minus 4 and equate it to negative 3. Solving x this side, x is equals to the 4 comes this side to be positive. Therefore, this side also the 4 comes this side to be positive. So the value of x is what? The value of x is 7, or the value of x is 1. So if we go back on the equation, we can check. If the value of x is 7 and 1, this tells us that this point here, this point is 1, and this point there is 7. So the value of b, it will be 7 and 0, and the value of a is 1 and 0. So now we have the value of a as 1 and 0. Then we answered the question. How many marks? 3 marks. Okay, nice. So now, if we move to M, listen to number M. Number M says that, not number M, 4.3, M is the reflection. Listen, M is the reflection in the x-axis of symmetry. Guys, you need to draw the line of the x-axis of symmetry. Né? So if we draw that line, remember the axis of symmetry is this line, the x coordinates of your turning point. Right, the x coordinates of your turning point, the x of E. Remember I said E is minus 4. 4 and minus 9. That's E. So this tells us that our x here, our x is equals to 4. So when they say M reflects around this, so M is the reflection of C. And remember the coordinates of C, we need to find the coordinates of C first. Right. The coordinates of C, we don't have to calculate the coordinates of C, because remember that if you have an equation like this and you want to find the coordinates of C, the coordinate of C is what? It's your y-intercept. And how do we find the y-intercept? Sorry guys, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is the issue with this thing. Okay, I'm not sure about this. Okay guys, let me fix something here. I'm not sure. Okay, so right. So now when they want you to find the reflection of M, and M is the reflection of C, and it reflects around this point. So now we can say, we know that if it reflects, it will be around this point. So basically C and M will have the same y coordinates. So I can write this down and say, okay, it's fine. I don't know what is x, but I already have the y as what? We need to find the y coordinates of C. Right. To find the y coordinates of C, remember guys, let's go back to the equation. Let's work this thing down. This is 4.3. On 4.3, first thing first, this is 4.3. We need to find what? We need to find the coordinates of C first. We need to know what is the coordinates of C. Already we know C is 0 because this is the y-intercept. So to find this one, to find the corresponding y value, we find the y-intercept if x is 0. So this tells you that on that equation, remember on the equation of f at x, where there's x, we're going to put what? Where there's x, we're going to put 0. So this will be 0 minus 4 squared minus 9, and this will give you 16 minus 9 is 7. So the coordinates of C is 0 and 7. So when they say that, this is the coordinate of C, M is the reflection of C. Remember that the M and the C and M, we said they will have what? The same y coordinate. Y, let's go back to the diagram. They'll have the same y coordinate. As you can see, they will have the same y coordinate. Right. So if you can check from this point, they will have this same y coordinates, y and c. So to find the corresponding y value, to find the corresponding x value, we can use this equation. I don't want you to even do a lot of calculations. You can just count. We know that if this is 4, if this line is 4, this tells you that from C to the axis of symmetry is 4 units. So if you moved 4 units, you need to move another 4 units this time. This side, 4 units, which will be 8. So it's 4 plus 4 is 8. So this tells us that the x here is 8. The x is 8. So the x coordinates of M, it will be 8. The x coordinates of M is 8. Right. So now I just want us to go to 4. What is this? I want us to go to 4.4. Now they want us to find the equation of G in the form of y is equals to mx. Let's see. So to find the equation of G, guys, what we're going to do is that we need the coordinates of C and the coordinates of D, then calculate the gradient. But we already know the x of G, which is 4, and we know the y is 0 because this is the x-intercept of G, And then we have the equation of, the point for C. We said C, it will be what? It's 0 and 7. So we can use this information to calculate the gradient of this graph. Then we can substitute one of these points to find the value of C. Right. If we can quickly do that, I'm just going to write this down here and say, okay, I'm just going to say that this is 4.4. I know that I have C as what? As 0 and 7. Therefore, I have D as 4 and 0. So this tells me that this is my x1, y1. This is my x2, y2. Therefore, the gradient of CD is equals to what? Why are we looking for the gradient? Because we are using the equation y is equals to mx plus c. Right, we need to calculate the gradient of that line, which is CD. And to calculate the gradient, we're going to use the equation y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, which will be equals to, we know that y2 is 0 minus y1, which is 7, everything divided by x2, which is 4 minus 0. The answer should give us what? Minus 7 all over 4. That is the answer. That is the gradient. So it's minus 7 over 4. Therefore, the gradient of CD is equal to minus 7 all over 4. We can just take this answer. Do what? We can just take this answer and substitute it back on the equation. Then we can solve for C. So y will be in the form of, where there's y, where there's m, I'm just going to put minus 7 over 4 x plus c. Then I can use one of this equation. I can substitute one of this equation. C or D is fine. We can use D. So if we sub in D, we know this is 4 and 0. Therefore, where there's y, we put 0. It's equal to minus 7 over 4. Where there's x, we need to put 4 and solve this. Plus c. So the 4 will cancel. This tells us that I'm going to have 0. It's equal to what? It's equal to minus 7 plus c. Therefore, the value of c is what? The value of c is 7. Because the 7 will come this other side to be positive. So c is equal to 7. Without any wasting of time, y is equal to what? Y will be minus 4 over 7. Nope. Y is minus 7 over 4 x plus 7. That is the final equation. Okay, guys. I think 4.5 and 4.6 we can do it on our next video. We'll just do part 2 of question 4.